Hey everyone, Corporal Roo here, going live for the second time. So we'll see how today goes. Hopefully a little bit smoother than last time. Alright, so before we get going today, I wanted to just give a shout out and thank everyone for their support so far. I've been rolling with this the best I can, and some days it feels like it's overwhelming and a lot on my shoulders. However, been an awesome opportunity, and it's really starting to take off, and I owe it all to you guys, so I appreciate it. Let's see, last time I talked a little bit about some concealed carry permit classes, and I've talked to the buddy I work with, and he is setting up some dates for me. So as soon as I get those, I will post that. I have not forgotten. I'm just waiting to hear back from him. So he'll be able to teach the class in an area that has a shooting range, so you'll be able to take care of any shooting and whatnot in there as well. All right, let's see. So today I want to talk about some seatbelt information. My whole career, I get people that call me or come to my house, whatever it is, and they're always like, hey, what's the rules on seatbelts? And hey, when can I change my rear seat to a front seat? You know, is my child old enough to sit without a booster seat? So I thought we'd knock some of that down today, and when we're finished, I will put up some codes and some websites with some good information on my page that you can go to and take a look at. So I'm going to read right through here. I've got the Utah code in hand. I printed it out. I figured it'd be beneficial just to read it word for word for all of you. So driver and passenger seatbelt or child restraint device required. So the operator of a motor vehicle operated on the highway shall, which shall means basically you will, wear a properly adjusted and fastened seatbelt, provide for the protection of each person younger than 8 years of age by using a child restraint device to restrain each person in the manner prescribed by the manufacturer of the device, and provide for the protection of each person 8 years of age up to 16 years of age by securing or causing to be secured a properly adjusted and fastened safety belt on each person. Notwithstanding the requirement under subsection 1A2, a child under 8 years of age who is 57 inches tall or taller is exempt from the requirement of subsection 1A2 to be in a child restraint device and shall use a properly adjusted and fastened seatbelt as required in subsection 1A3. So basically, what it's saying is, one, everyone wears a seatbelt. Anyone younger than 8 years of age, so newborn to 8 years, will have some type of a child restraint device. 0 to 1 years obviously is rear facing. A lot of the what am I looking for? The graphs, the research suggests that a child should actually stay rear facing until they're 2 years old, or 1 year old up to at least 20 pounds. Once they hit that, you can swap them to a forward facing. But for the most part, I usually tell people until the age of 2, it's just more safe that way. So brand new babies, rear facing. 2-year-olds, turn it to forward facing. And then anything after 2 or 3 years old, so maybe like a 4 to 7 years old, the booster seat. Now this could change with the size of your kids. Anyone that's pushing 4'9" to 5 feet technically don't need a booster seat anymore, so they can sit in the back with just the normal seatbelt on. However, if you do that, don't latch the shoulder belt. Don't put it under their arm. Make sure it comes over the shoulder like it's supposed to be. Anyone 8 years old to 16 has to wear a seatbelt as well. If you're driving along and you've got a 15-year-old, 14-year-old, whatever it is, and they don't have a seatbelt on and you get pulled over, whoever the driver is would get a citation or a ticket for that child not wearing a seatbelt. Anyone that's age 16 or older and they don't have a seatbelt on, that person will get the ticket or the citation from the police officer. So it is the law. You need to wear your seatbelt. Again, it varies what kind of seatbelt, what kind of booster seat, by age and by weight and height and whatnot. So usually by age 8, like I said earlier, 4'9" to 5 feet, and anywhere from 80 pounds to 100 pounds, that's when you can stop using that booster seat and just wear your normal shoulder belt. So I hope that helps a little bit on that. Some other questions I usually get are the driving in the back of a pickup truck. There is no Utah law that says you cannot do that. However, I highly recommend you don't. In my career, I've seen multiple fatal accidents, and I personally would never ever put anyone in the back of a truck that couldn't be seatbelted in. Too many things I've seen, and too many things I wouldn't want to happen to my family or friends. So, that being said, a couple other driving tips here. And again, I will put these websites and all this information on my page, Advice from an Officer. That way you can link through them. There's different checklists, different links, different YouTube videos that you can be connected to for your different situations. Let's see here. What do we got? Oh, motorcycle riders. So the motorcycle riders, I get asked a lot, hey, do I need to wear a helmet when I'm on a dirt bike, a street bike, whatever it is? The Utah law states that if you are under the age of 18, you will or shall wear a motorcycle helmet. So if you're 17 years old or younger, it is the law. You do have to wear a motorcycle helmet. Once you turn 18, it turns into your choice. You are not mandated by law to wear a motorcycle helmet. However, again, I would recommend that. I have seen that multiple times in my 10-year career. Motorcycle accidents happen quite frequently. I've seen some motorcycle riders get up from an accident and have no problems at all because their helmet saved their lives. I've seen others who have had to have major brain surgeries or even fatal accidents because they didn't have a motorcycle helmet. So again, my recommendation is always to wear a helmet for your safety, and so officers or whoever it is comes to that accident doesn't have to take bad news to your family. Let's see here. Does Utah law permit people to ride inside a fifth wheel RV while it's being towed on a highway? No, Utah law does not distinguish between fifth wheel trailers and other types of trailers. So I've been asked that question quite a bit as well. Cell phones. So it is illegal to text and drive. There is a ticket for that. However, Utah is, I guess they permit you to use your phone as far as talking on it. However, they suggest that if you are making a phone call, try to dial out either at a stoplight or stop sign or pull off to the side of the road, somewhere where you're not in motion. Try to keep them more safe that way. So if you do need to make a phone call, do that. Wait till the next block down the street or the next stop sign, whatever it is. I've seen people that will pull off directly on the side of the road, which I've done before as well. Sometimes it's just more safe that way. So, yeah, again, no texting. However, you can make phone calls. I suggest hands-free if you're going to use your phone. I know some people basically live on that. So it's a business for some. I'm just reading this question from Heidi. Let's see. So, I saw a lady with more kids in a car than seatbelts. Is that against the law if all the seatbelts are being used? Hope that makes sense. Yes. So, basically, Heidi, if I'm catching that right, let's say there's 3 seatbelts in the back seat and you've got 4 kids in there. 3 of them have seatbelts, 1 doesn't, or 2 are combined into 1. Yes, that's against the law. Everyone has to have their own separate seatbelt. So if there's 4 people in the back, let's say they're all junior high age kids, and there is one that does not have a seatbelt. That car can be pulled over, and the driver can be given a citation for the child not having a seatbelt. Now, if a driver's pulled over and there's no one in a seatbelt, that counts as only one ticket, one citation. So they wouldn't get a citation per individual that does not have a seatbelt. Unless that individual in the passenger seat is older than 16, they'd get their own. So hopefully that makes sense a little bit there, Heidi. Let me know if that helps or not. A new thing with the Utah law, too, that we started not too long ago is officers can pull someone over for driving without a seatbelt as a first offense, which means if I see you driving without a seatbelt, I can pull you over for that reason. However, if it's the first time you've been pulled over for that offense, your first citation or ticket has to be a warning. Once you get a warning for a seatbelt violation, that actually goes on your driver's license record. So while I'm running a driver's license record, it will show me if you've been given a warning before for that offense. If you have been given a warning, then everything after that warning turns into a citation that you'll need to take care of with whatever city you got that ticket at. So let's see. You are welcome, Heidi. Let me see. I'm going to backtrack just a little bit for some of those who have just joined us. We're talking about the Utah code, and this could vary state to state. So if you're from another state, you might want to look into this. Shouldn't be too hard to find. You can just Google, whatever your state code is on seatbelts. So it is mandated for everyone to wear a seatbelt. Brand new born babies to 2 years old should have rear facing car seats. They should not change to forward facing until around 2 years old, or if they're 1 year old, they should at least be over 20 pounds. Try to use whatever car seat it is, no matter what age, boosters, car seats, to the maximum weight and height limits. That's always a good way to tell when it's time to change. So once they're 2, you can change them forward, usually 2 to 4. You stay in the forward facing, again using the maximum weight and height restrictions. 4 to 7, you're going to be in a booster seat. That way it helps boost them up. It helps with the seat belt so it's not rubbing on the neck area. Makes them a little more comfortable. They can see out the window more and feel a little more relaxed, if you will. Anyone that is 8 years old to 16 generally can have just a normal seatbelt with no booster. However, if you have a child that is a little bit smaller in weight and height, don't make me laugh, man. If you have someone that's a little bit smaller, they could potentially be in a booster until 9, 10 years old, just because of the weight and height limits. So anyone that's 8 years old or older, once you've hit that 4'9" to 5 feet tall, 80 pounds to 100 pounds, you're good to be out of that booster and buckled in normally. Just keep that shoulder belt on correctly. Don't put it under your arm. Anyone that is 16 years or older, if they're driving in a vehicle that is pulled over by a police officer and they don't have a seat belt on, they will be given a citation. Anyone that's under the age of 16, if they're not in a seat belt, the driver of the vehicle will be given that ticket for that individual, because it is the driver's responsibility to make sure that everyone has a seatbelt and is safe prior to driving in the car. Let's see here. And then we also talked about driving in the back of a pickup truck. Melissa, my kids will be boosters until they are 20. They are tiny little things. Hey, that's all right. That means they're going to be safe, right? All right, driving in the back of a pickup truck. Utah does not have a law against that. However, like I said earlier, I recommend you do not do that. Being in my career, I have seen multiple fatal accidents. I know it sounds a little gruesome, but all sorts of ejections and type accidents, I guess, if that makes sense. But I personally would never put my kids or anyone else that I am fond of in the back of a truck without being seatbelted in. So always make sure that everyone that is with you has somewhere they can be buckled in for their safety. Motorcycle helmets. It is the law that if you are under the age of 18, you have to wear a motorcycle helmet. No ifs, ands, or buts. When you turn 18, you have the choice to wear one or not to wear one. Again, I've seen people's lives saved by motorcycle helmets, and I've seen people's lives lost by not wearing a motorcycle helmet. And that is a almost weekly thing here in the city that I work in. You hear it all over the radio from other cities. It is something that happens frequently. So wear those helmets and stay safe. Let's see. Cell phones. It is illegal to text and drive. There is a citation for that. However, Utah does not have a law against talking on your phone. They do suggest that you pull over or make a phone call at the stoplight, stop sign, side of the road, whatever it is. Try to be safe about it. Like I said in one of my videos a few weeks back, hands-free devices. I've recently learned that Siri will make phone calls for me. I'm not the most tech savvy, so it took me a while to figure that out. And now I try to have Siri help me whenever I need to make a call or send a text message, because I don't have to use my hands. So, and yes, my Siri is a Australian accent. I don't know what it is, but I like it. Makes me laugh. All right. Any other questions or comments? Anyone on here? I know there was one earlier from Heidi about having, say, 3 seatbelts in the back with 4 or 5 individuals. Everyone has to have their own seatbelt if they're going to be driving in a vehicle or a passenger in a vehicle. So you cannot share seatbelts. You cannot sit on laps. If there are more seatbelts or more people than seatbelts, that is an issue, and the driver and or passenger will receive a citation from police. So that is my information today on seatbelts. Hopefully that helps a little bit. I will, like I said, post all of this on my Facebook page and give you the link so you can study up on that and watch some of the YouTube videos on your own. Let's see, Camille, kids in the front seat. Again, that's going to come down to, one, are they old enough to be in the normal shoulder seatbelt without a booster? Usually it's 8-9 years old. That same time, 4'9" to 5 feet tall and 80 to 100 pounds. If they're reaching those, that's perfect. You can put them in the front seat. That's fine. See, Melissa, our seatbelts in the 3rd row don't lock when we pull them out. I heard that they would lock if we stop quickly or we're in an accident. Does that sound correct? Yes, hopefully. They should lock if there's any kind of quick push on the brake. So hopefully that happens. If there's ever a question about it, feel free to read your book that comes with the car on it. You can also even get a hold of where you got your vehicle or a mechanic you may know. Just ask questions. There's nothing wrong with ever asking questions. There's always someone out there that knows more about something than we do. When it comes to vehicles and things like that, trust me, there's always someone knows more about it than I do. So, yeah, if you're ever curious or have questions about it, just look into that. And that should be good. Let's see. Seatbelt. In riding in the back of a pickup, can you wear a helmet in lieu of a seatbelt? Helmets help, Shane. Helmets are good, but I still wouldn't ride in the back of a pickup without one. So, and I know a lot of you are maybe farmers or been driving the truck since you were 14 years old or whatnot. But when it's out on the roads, just think about what could happen. Like I said in one of my other videos, no matter how defensive you are, it doesn't mean an accident can't happen. So Let's see, what's been your experience with dash cameras for personal cars? Thanks for the question, Kelly. You know, I've actually had a couple details as a police officer where someone's called in a traffic offense of vehicles swerving or driving fast or cutting off vehicles, sometimes even a drunk driver, and whether they've had their own dash camera or a passenger has recorded that for us on a phone, you know, it's been very beneficial for us because we have that video and that evidence per se for the criminal side of things, the court side of things, and it's actually helped out a lot with some of those calls. You know, even if it's someone that we go up and talk to and say, hey, look, you know, you're swerving in and out, you're tailgating, you're a little close. You know, we've got that video proof, if you will, to let them know, you know, hey, stop that, or to take action on with a ticket or other criminal charges, depending on the case. So hopefully that helps, Kelly. But I like them. I think they're definitely beneficial. So you know, if you do have them and you're driving and you need to make some adjustments to something, obviously do that safely. Pull over to the side of the road or something for a few minutes while you get everything adjusted how you need it. So all right, let's see. You are very welcome, you guys. I appreciate you guys hanging in there with me and being supportive. So any other questions, comments? Please let me know. Write it in there again. All of this will be shared here in the next little while on my Facebook page. But hopefully that helps with the seatbelt questions. Oh yeah, one other thing I want to touch on was the car seats. I don't know how many of you know, but if you're ever in an accident and you have a car seat in the car, you're going to need to get rid of that car seat and get a new one. You don't ever want to use that same car seat once it's been in an accident, just to make sure everything's still functioning correctly. Go buy a new one. Let's see here. The new driver. So what are the laws about how many friends can be with a new driver? Wendy, that's a good question. I've actually got some advice, some things that I pulled up on the student drivers and the learner's permits and whatnot. So I will put those on my page and share them with you. I don't have the exact numbers right here with me, but I did find those earlier. I just left them at my office. That driver's ed stuff and the learner's permits seem to change quite frequently. So I'll get the updated info on that, and I will put that on my page as well here shortly. So hopefully that will answer some of those questions. Okay, everyone. I think that is about it for now. I will be coming live again probably in the next day or two, and we can talk some more. I will also keep you all updated on the concealed weapons permits and when that class is and how much and whatnot. So I talked to him the other day. He said he'll make it worth everyone's while. That way we can get more of us you know, secured with some concealed weapons. And as all of you know as well as I do, those concealed weapons are amazing, and there are cases almost every day on the news that show a citizen with a concealed weapons permit carrying at that time saved someone's life or, you know, their own, prevented crime from happening. So I am all about that, and would love to help any of you out with that. So I will get that information to you soon. And yeah, you guys are awesome. Again, I appreciate all of your support in this. It's been an awesome experience for me, and I plan on keeping it going, and we'll see where it takes us. So thanks all, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.